Hey YouTube, hope everyone had a good Christmas. I wanted to do a couple videos before the new year, but it just hasn't worked out. One thing I do want to share about is these Lost in Space books. You may have noticed in my last haul I had volume 1. My wife actually got me all 3 volumes for Christmas, so it was a fun surprise. We also just finished watching season 2 on Netflix. If you have not watched Lost in Space, this new version on this Netflix series, I do highly recommend it. Shouldn't be any spoilers, maybe some mild ones for season 1 as I talk about these books. And so I'm not going to talk about the show too much, but I do recommend it. It's kind of, I think, flying under the radar a little bit, but it's a great reboot, new version of the show. I think that honors the original, and it's family friendly. It is serious. It's not campy like the old one. To me, this is kind of a reboot, modernized version done right. I think I saw someone compare the new Lost in Space show to like Star Trek Discovery, and how that really wasn't in the spirit of the original. And I agree with that. I watched that show, and it was good, but it didn't feel like Star Trek so much. And that one definitely, I don't think, was family friendly. But Lost in Space is great. I recommend it. And so, of course, when I saw these books, these official comic book expansion, I wanted to try them, and they're good. They're not, I can't recommend them to everyone though. They are only if you have seen the show, and I think they're only if you're a big fan of the show. They add some interesting elements. I think the biggest, I guess, negative about them is some of the stories kind of like are taking place between things you see between episodes of the show. But the pacing of the show, to me, doesn't quite leave room for what takes place in some of these books. Now, there's some great stories. I just don't know if they fit in as well as maybe they were hoping to with these books. But there are some stories that are kind of some flashbacks of their times on Earth that I think help flesh out the characters even more. Overall, it's written very well. You see the first 2 volumes, Richard Denick writes one story, and Brian, I don't know how you say his last name, writes the other story. And they're both good. Brian Buccellato, or however you say it, I think he's the stronger writer of the 2. And I don't know the artist, Zid. I think he mainly does the covers, if I'm not mistaken. He may do some of the inside. I know on the last volume, yeah, it says Sincraft Studio does the art. So that's kind of weird. But the covers are beautiful, I think. These would make great posters. They may be posters for the show. I don't know exactly. I'll let you see a little bit of the inside art. It's done. It looks, they look like the characters from the show, the actors and their likeness. It's done very well. Let me show you this page here. It's pretty good. But yeah, just fun and good. Each one, they are kind of short, thin volumes. It's kind of like there are two comics in each volume. One seems to be kind of flashback material, and the other one is something that takes place between. Here's the synopsis of the first story, Secrets. If you want to pause and see what that is about, especially if you watch the show, you might want to see that. Let me see the second story in volume 1 is Penny and Judith, and this was a really fun one. This one seems like, even though I'm not sure there's time for what Penny gets into that story, it's very much in her character, and you could see something like that happening. Volume 2, same deal, 2 stories as well. This first one's Quality Time. You want to pause and read that. And the second story in this one was really good as well. It gives a lot of info on Dr. Smith. You know, she's a very interesting character on the show. That it just really added to her. Like I said, a positive, these stories fleshed our characters out even more. First story in the 3rd book. This is a story, it was a good story, but I almost seemed like the pacing of the show, I just didn't see where this could really fit. And same, this one, on the 3rd volume, both of these take place like between episodes or scenes. John and Maureen's the last story. Very good. Like I said, if you're a fan of the show, I recommend it. This is very interesting. There is a preview of the next volume in the back, and there's no dialogue, but it seems to be the next volume's going to be some sort of crossover with the original series. So very cool. I'll show you one more page and that'll be that. So we'll have to see how volume 4 is. I don't know if they're just going to go a totally different direction with it, but anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to do probably one more haul for the year. I probably will be later in the week. I'm waiting for, I got a couple books coming in. So but anyway, hope everyone had a good Christmas and have a happy new year, and maybe I'll get a couple more videos in this week. Anyway, thanks for watching. Give it a like and subscribe if you would.